Allow me to spot the weight that you have been carrying. Let's just call this a little gym session. Since you pride yourself in writing letters, I wrote one to you. So, dear pain, you ask, what do I know about pain? See, I've watched more wooden boxes descend 6 feet deep than most people have watched sunsets boxes carrying names I once called family, friends, pieces of myself. See, I've seen a man be swept off his feet by a vehicle, hanging and moving at 120 miles per hour, and when the moment his gravity reclaimed him, his body broke in more ways that words cannot repair, so no. Healing was never forced down my throat. It was never some comforting narrative. It was never some doctrine of denial, some beautifully wrapped lie. It was never something that I just bumped into. I chose this deliberately. Every step, every scar, every resurrection and insurrection. So you call yourself pain. But see, I've seen your tricks before. You arrive wearing the mask of permanence, convincing broken people that wounds are dresses. See, you convince them that scars are prisons, that bleeding is a life sentence, and every cut that you've ever given me became a mouth through which God told me how to breathe. So, I am healing. Not the soft version that's printed on greeting cards, no. I am the reconstruction of awkward hours. I am countless hours in the gym. I am stubborn decisions to rise when the memory of dragging my ankles into the grave is hanging on my back like a phoenix that was tethered there. That learned me. And see, it taught me that you were never my enemy. But let me take a minute to reposition. See, I have stitched souls together with trembling hands and midnight prayers. See, I have turned survival into a language and taught shattered men how to speak again. See, look at me. Fear, I said, look at me. See, I wear scars like military decorations. See, every mark is evidence that pain swung first and still lost it. You broke my heart. Man, you broke my heart. But I got those words and I built them into a sanctuary. See, I took the words learned and I learned that seeds and coffins look identical until resurrection begins. What you called an ending, it was simply an introduction and heaven clearing its throat. So dear pain, let me teach you. See, you broke my heart. And I built a sanctuary from the rubble. So you buried my dreams. But I learned that seeds and coffins look identical until resurrection begins. What you called an ending. See, it was simply an introduction and heaven clearing its throat. So come then, beast. Come then, mystic. See, you have lost a little bit of the tune. I think that's why they call me Bistic. I am pain's worst nightmare. I am evidence that survival is still evidence. See, I am the wound that refused infection, the scar that learned how to speak. See, unlike you, I gave myself to one that is greater than I am. I guess you can understand that when I was broken mirrors, he took them, he shaped and molded me, went through fire, mixed it with a little bit of cement, just so that he could build foundations that were strong enough for people to lay their shoulders on. Man, see you are fragmented pieces held by fragile glue. I think that's why that probably explains why you're constantly breaking into pieces. You are pretty much like a crescendo with a drip that's pretty right in front of you, and you cannot see the error of your ways. So dear pain, let me remind you. If this was your Colosseum, and if you were truly a beast, I would look at the four corners of this Colosseum, and I would look you straight in the eyes and your empire as a reincarnation of Maximus Decimus Meridius, and I tell you that I am not entertained. So dear pain, let me take it real slow, and let me end with this. See, I want you to stand down. I want you to understand that you are not my conqueror. You are merely the fire that introduced me to my strength. You are barely healing that never made it through. And so, when people come to this Colosseum, they will not remember how loud pain, every one of his pain, strongholds, thresholds. I am the one that lifted the weight off his shoulders, and we will remember that you became nothing but a shadow in healing's footsteps.